And talking about navigation and other things related, an Australian company is planning to deliver textbooks using robotic drones. Zookal says it's the first time anyone has used unmanned drones for commercial reasons. They'll offer the service here from 10 and in the US after that. So will this idea take off? Well, let's put that question to their Chief Operating Officer, Vicky Lay. She joins me in the Sky News Business Centre right now. Vicky, welcome to the program today.
Thank you for having me.
What made you think, firstly, of let's use drones to deliver these textbooks? How did you get to that?
At Zookal, we always try to find innovative solutions to complex problems. As complex problems with logistics, getting our textbooks to students as quickly and easy as possible. We spoke to a lot of consultants and they said hire in fleet or move closer to your couriers. But for us, having an unmanned vehicle actually deliver the textbook to our students using the GPS seemed like a very innovative solution.
And this will be cheaper and more efficient than just using the postal service?
Yes, definitely.
And why is that? Is it that you own the drones or will they be rented? How will that system work?
So at the moment we're looking at a fleet of about 6 UAVs and it's done through a joint venture through Flirty. So I'm sure you've heard of them before. So that's a partnership between ourselves at Zookal, the Warren Centre of Advanced Engineering at the University of Technology Sydney, so the University of Sydney, as well as Wimbo, the Nagarwithy company.
Now I've seen figures that you deliver around 300 textbooks a day roughly, or somewhere in that vicinity. Is it possible to deliver that many using drones? Because they'll need to fly out and fly back and be refueled or recharged, however they work.
Recharged, yeah.
Will that be possible?
Hopefully one day. It really depends on regulations. The technology is there and it is viable. So for us it's just a waiting game. It's more a when rather than an if.
Okay, so you mentioned regulations there. There are some approvals you have to get still around commercial airspace. Is that correct, before this goes live?
Yeah, the reason why we partnered with the Warren Institute of Engineering at the University of Sydney is because they're actually working to overcome those barriers and are working very closely with CASA, which is the Australian version of the FAA. Yeah.
Now, is this just a marketing stunt to get attention? And if it is, it's worked very well, hasn't it?
We actually did not anticipate that we'd get this much media. For us, it was, like I said, about delivering innovative solutions for our customers, and I suppose the backlash of that has been the publicity, which we're not denying. But,
yeah, well, it hasn't been a backlash, has it? It's been quite positive.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the business itself, because what you essentially do is allow students to rent textbooks, and I'm sure many of our viewers would have been at university and had to go through that experience. Why start up a business like this, focusing on paper books in an age where everything and everyone we keep hearing is going digital?
That's a fantastic question. We asked the same thing as well. For us, textbooks are the way sort of to capture the market and actually engage with our student. With digital, we see it definitely happening in the future. We've actually offered e-books, e-textbooks to students, but haven't seen a very high uptake or traction, which is not surprising because if you look at the US, penetration of e-textbooks as opposed to e-books is about 7 to 10%. Which is not much. So for us, we're waiting for that point of inflection when the customers say, hey, let's take on e-books rather than print books, and we will be there to switch it on when it's ready.
And will publishers be okay with you offering these books via, digital editions? Won't they want to go through their own stores or one of the established stores or just do it themselves? Why go through you at all?
Well, I suppose it would be our reach into the market. We're actually servicing most of the 43 universities already. And with digital, software is eating the world, like we've said. And for us, e-textbooks are, they really are, they're an eventuality. And the publishers will, eventually take on the path to actually allow that through whatever means is possible to get to the consumers.
And you do have plans to move into Asia as well, and that could be quite lucrative given that they're probably not at the same pace as the US and Australia when it comes to digital. How much success have you had moving into that region so far?
We've actually already opened operations in Malaysia and Singapore. Going back to your question on print, you could very easily create this amazing app and release it into the Asian market. But a child sitting in a rural community in Indonesia is not going to know what it is. Whereas a print textbooks, everyone knows that and they can relate to that and they do use that for study. So for us, that is our means to the market. It's what the customer wants and it's what we will be delivering until we reach that point of inflection.
Well, there is something to be said about holding a big textbook in your hand, but that's for our generation. A lot of kids I know these days haven't necessarily seen a textbook and they're used to digital, so we will have to see how this business goes.
Definitely.
Vicky, thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, up next...